Welcome to VNN. Dipika Damerla, Ward 7 councillor in the City of Mississauga, has been instrumental in advocating for more park space in Mississauga's downtown. We all know of Councillor Damerla. She was a Liberal member of the Ontario Provincial Parliament, representing Mississauga East Cooksville from
That's right.
2011 to 2018. That was a long time. And she also served as a Minister of Seniors Affairs in Premier Kathleen Wynne's cabinet. Welcome to VNN, Councillor.
Thank you, Bala. Happy to be here.
I mean, now, of course, we know that you have been very active on this file for the parks. How much money has the City of Mississauga invested in expanding park space? Any figures?
Actually, I couldn't tell you a dollar amount. I could get back to you, but I can tell you that we've acquired 19 acres, which is a lot of new green space. And then what we did was we had two existing parks, which were about 22 acres. And then we purchased 19 acres around these two parks. So now we're going to roll the existing two parks with the new land into a big 41-acre park system. That's huge.
Any budget allocation for this specific park?
Yeah, so the way we finance the purchase of green space, I want to make it very clear, it's not from tax dollars. The system we have is it's something called payment in lieu of green space. So every time a builder comes to the City of Mississauga and says, I want to build, say, 20 stories, the city takes money from them.
That's a development charge.
In addition to development charges, this is called cash in lieu. And this money is collected. And the only thing we can spend it on is to purchase green space.
Green space. That's
we can't use it to build a community center or a library. It can only be used for green space. So if you don't use it, we lose it. And, you know, the money can be spent in any ward. But obviously the downtown Cooksville area is very deficient in green space. So we were able to purchase some land here.
I mean, which districts and wards come under the Cooksville area? I mean,
mostly Ward 7, which is the ward I represent, yes.
And you think that this will change the entire face of the area, isn't it?
100%. I mean, imagine it's in the middle of the most dense part of Mississauga. What we've actually done is we've purchased homes in the floodplain. And then, you know, we have brought those homes down and it's becoming park space. So it's really new green space, 19 acres. So it's fantastic, yes.
Okay, I mean, tell us more about this plan for this connected.
Yeah, so you know, for the past 4 years, we've been busy acquiring land. So, and it's, as you can imagine, because we are so built up, there was no green space. So we're actually buying homes at market value on a willing buyer, willing seller. So there's no expropriation. It's just, if you want to sell, you can sell to me or you can sell to a builder. So, you know, so we were matching the market price and we designated certain, so we purchased the land. So that was the hard part and also the boring part, right? Like that's behind the scenes. Now that we have a critical mass of 41 acres, now we're at a stage where we want to plan the park. Now, the question is, what goes into the park? Do you want tennis courts or do you want, what's it called now? Pickleball. Everybody wants pickleball. Do you want splash pads? Do you want a playground, trails, like all of these things? What should go into this new park system? So what I said to city staff was, it's not for us to decide. It's for the community to decide, like all the people who live in the area who are going to be using this park. So I've started a ward-wide consultation of this park. And what would you like? So there's 3 different ways that people can tell me what they'd like to see in the park. The first is I have an online survey. Just go to my website, dipikadamerla.ca, and the online survey will pop up. It'll take you 2 minutes, very easy, multiple choice. What do you want? You can check off, and we'll collect all of the data. If you're not the type of person who wants to do online, I'm also holding an in-person town hall on June 27th at the Kathra Senior Center. So you can come to that town hall in person and tell me what you would like to see. Details of that town hall are also on my website, dipikadamerla.ca. Finally, if you're the type of like, I don't want to go to the town hall and I don't want to do this online either. ask for a paper copy of the survey. Just phone my office or email me saying, I want a paper copy of the survey, and we'll send it to you. On top of all of this, we're also holding what we call pop-up town halls. What that means is we'll just go into a park and set up a booth. And if you're visiting the park and you happen to be there, we'll ask you those questions. As you can see, it's quite extensive. Want to make sure everybody has a chance to weigh in and tell me what they'd like to see at the park. The survey and the consultations run until the end of June, June 30th. So if any of your viewers live in and around the Cooksville Creek, if you live in the Cooksville area, just go to my website, dipikadamerla.ca, and you will see multiple options by which you can give me your thoughts, your ideas for what you would like to see in the park.
When any information about the technical studies or feasibility studies have all been completed, or is it still ongoing?
So yes, a lot of the, floodplain mapping and things like that has been done. But I do want to say that we will obviously take all of the survey information and look at what people want. But to your point, we also have to look at engineering feasibility, technical feasibility, to see if some of the proposals can be incorporated. Step one, assemble land. Step two, we did some background studying on technical feasibility. Parallelly, I want to understand what does the community want to see there. Based on that feedback, we'll decide on what's practical. People might ask for the moon and we may not have the budget for the moon. We'll definitely try to make sure that if it's a reasonable ask and a lot of people are asking for it, I hope to have it put there.
No, you'll have to plant hundreds of trees also, isn't it?
Well, true. We will be there. The naturalization has already started in many places. We're allowing it to naturalize. We will plant a lot of trees, but also keep in mind that people do want tennis courts and people do want a playground. So we'll make the best in some areas because we have existing green space, as I told you, 22 acres and 19 acres of new space. 100% you're right. We'll plant more trees, but there's also some areas that have some nice mature trees.
How have you projected that the current parkland will not support the population in, say, 20 years? That's what you had mentioned.
Oh, I can tell you, Bala, that even today, as we speak, we are parkland deficit. I don't have to go to, even after purchasing this green space, which is probably the largest purchase of green space in recent years for Cooksville, we are still parkland deficit. The problem is, of course, that where is the green space? There's no open land. Everything is built up. Everybody wants to sell to a builder. We are trying to do our best to acquire as much green space as possible. I do want to say that the 19 acres that we acquired is not the end. I still have land that I've earmarked that I would like to buy. So the park size will continue to grow. But I want to be honest. We are so far behind that we have lots more to purchase.
Yeah, because the land is limited, isn't it? And Mississauga is not area-wise, it's not as big as a Caledon or even
no. Yeah. It's one of those really sad things that in the past we should have held on to some land, but I guess I don't know the history of everything. And so here we are. We have to do the best we can today. You know what they say? The best time to have bought land was yesterday. The second best time is today. So I'm focused on today.
I think what you should do is you should swallow Oakville and Milton and make it into one big city. That will
my
take
goodness.
a lot of
Let's
land.
not go there right now. Let's not go there. Good. Yeah.
I mean, do you expect objections from some of the residents in the area?
I don't think so. I mean, who doesn't want more green space?
I mean, because a lot of people of Mississauga have been accused of this NIMBYism that is not in my backyard. That thing, including Mayor Crombie, she has been accused of that when it comes to.
But I don't know that there's usually NIMBYism for green space. Everybody wants a park behind their house or a ravine behind their house. So I think we're pretty safe. There may be the odd person who has some concerns, but I would say I think people are more concerned if they see a high rise going in their backyard, but they're less concerned if it's a park.
Yeah, but then I mean,
And
development will continue, isn't it? There'll be more homes, more people coming in. I mean, so then what happens then? How do you foresee the future? These parks,
well,
isn't it?
that's why I'm saying the best time to have bought land was yesterday. The second best is today, because as you said, tomorrow it'll be even more expensive and less available.
What about other parks? I mean, you also advocate for those parks outside your wards?
Absolutely. You know what? Mississauga is my city. I represent a part of Mississauga, but I'm proud of the entire city, and I want the entire city to be to succeed. So absolutely, I would support green space in other parts.
What do you think of Brampton and Toronto as the park-wise? Parkland-wise? Well, yeah.
You know, it's a really good question. I can answer. I think that I would have to go back to see, you know, what is their number of parks versus ours. But, you know, a key piece isn't just how much green space you have, Bala, because you know what? It is, do you have green space in your neighborhood, right? So I might have green space at the edge of Mississauga, where land's cheaper. Or there's lots of green space maybe in Milton or in Caledon. But if I'm living downtown Cooksville, what I want for my residents is that they have green space in their neighborhood, not that they have to drive to Caledon or they have to drive to the north end of Mississauga or to Oakville to get green space, to have neighborhood green space.
What will this new park be called? Any names? Any other names other than Cooksville or Iggy Kaneff Park?
Yeah, so the two existing parks are Cooksville Park and Iggy Kaneff Park, and as you know, we've purchased land around it. So we are going to retain those two names because people are familiar with those names, so those names will be retained. So essentially, it'll be two new parks, larger, Kamala and Iggy Kaneff, but they're going to be so connected, and that's why we call it one park system, 41 acres. And the plan is to continue to buy land to connect the two parks more and more, so it becomes seamless.
So is this? I'm just wondering. Is this near the lake shore? Does it go that side?
No. So the park is primarily between Paisley and the northern end, Paisley, and the southern end, I want to say, is close to Queensway. That's where.
That way, yeah, right. That's
Queensway to
quite a big area.
Yeah, all along the Cooksville Creek. Yeah, it's a big area.
20 acres total?
The total is 41 acres.
41 acres.
Yeah, and growing, because like I said, that's the land we've purchased, but I can tell you as we speak, we are purchasing more land. So
any idea of going into federal politics or provincial politics?
I am completely focused on being a city councillor. I have so many good initiatives on the go. The park is a big one. I want to build a community center for Cooksville as well. So these are the two projects that keep me awake at night, and I have to keep pushing them. Nothing happens unless you keep pushing. So, and I'm really enjoying it, Bala. So no, not looking at anything else.
You're happier with the local?
Very happy, very satisfying.
Because I think the mayor was interested in going into provincial politics.
Well, she's exploring it, and we'll see what she does.
Said, come on, bring it on. So let us see what happens there.
Yeah.
Anything else you would like to tell our viewers about your plan, future plan, and anything about the park again?
Yeah, you know, a big part for me in Ward 7 is really three things: increase green space, that's number one; a new community center, because we need one; and the third one is balanced growth. You know, Bala, I agree that we need to build more homes. We can all see that there's an affordability crisis. We need to increase supply, but we cannot throw bad planning, and we cannot throw good planning out the door. Like, we can't go crazy. We still have to be thoughtful. And that's my big concern, is don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So increasingly, you know, it's become very adversarial, like, you know, with people sort of, it's black and white. Either you're pro-development or you're not. It's not. there's a middle road where I support development, but I want to make sure that our quality of life is also protected to some extent.
Thank you, Councillor. I think
Thank you so much, Bala. Take care. Anytime, just call me.
parks are always a great idea. I mean, and they're the lungs of the city. And I think everybody will be happy that you're taking the lead in creating this new parkland system.
100%.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for outlining your plan about this initiative, and we wish you all success. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks.